Gratitude is a simple thing. You can never run out of it, so why hold back? Let yourself feel grateful for all the goodness that comes and goes in your life, no matter how big or small it might be. This gratitude flows through us as positive energy, affecting ourselves and those around us equally. But there are some people who seem to hold on to every ounce of gratitude they have. These people show no thankfulness for anything in their lives, making them seem negative, grumpy, and ungrateful. But why are ungrateful people the way they are? Here are 7 characteristics of the ungrateful. Number 1. They feel entitled to everything. It's hard to be thankful for something when you feel like it was rightfully yours to begin with. When someone steals something from you and they're forced to return it, why would you feel any kind of thanks towards that person? This is the mindset the most ungrateful people have. They don't want to show any kind of gratitude towards anything given to them because they believe it was theirs by right to begin with. The act of thanking someone for something they already feel inherently entitled to having is actually embarrassing for them because they believe they should have had it already. Number 2, they want everything immediately. When you give them something, they don't take the moment to enjoy or appreciate it. They consume it, go through it, and then they say, "What else?" An ungrateful individual doesn't truly recognize the value in things because they were given it too easily. They want the next thing, and the next, and the next, because the end goal isn't about being happy with what they have. The end goal is to simply want once again. And it's not always because of entitlement. Sometimes they've convinced themselves they're so much of a victim that they deserve every handout given to them. Number 3, they've never been told no. How do you raise a child to make sure they become an ungrateful adult? Simple. Always give them whatever they ask for and never let them hear the word no. When a person never has to feel anything they want is unattainable, then everything loses its value. Not only do they not understand the value of $1, but they also end up not understanding the value of gifts, of time, of friendships and relationships. They believe that everything should be theirs, no matter what. And anyone who denies them from this is committing a crime against their humanity. Number 4, they haven't worked for anything in their lives. It's hard to be ungrateful when you've had to spend your life supporting yourself, working long and hard to make sure you pay the bills and put food on the table. There is no greater way to learn the lesson of how much things are worth than by struggling to pay for those things, $1 at a time. When everything is handed to a person, regardless of whether or not they earned it, then they can't respect the things that are handed to them, or the people handing them the things, and no respect for anything or anyone. How could they feel any kind of gratitude? Number 5, they consume too much media. The problem with the world today is that there's way too much noise. There's always something going on. You can turn on the news, scroll online, look through social media, and find dozens of different things to worry and stress about. All this noise blocks out our ability to find peace and joy in the present moment. We end up becoming people who worry about everything, people trembling with their own constant neuroticism. Finding the ability to express gratitude feels impossible when it's so easy to expose yourself to the weight of the world and all of its problems. In many cases, ungrateful people aren't bad people. They're just trapped in vicious cycles. Number 6, they feel spiritually disconnected. It's no surprise that the most grateful individuals out there are also those most connected with their spirituality. Positivity and gratitude come from the same place as spiritual belief. We want to be better people and want to appreciate every moment and every gift more, and in turn, we hope to make the world better with our presence through this mindset. But ungrateful individuals don't have this connection with their spirituality. They're cut away from these channels, with negativity and toxicity bogging down the energy inside of them. They can't connect with those around them, and they can barely connect with themselves, which is why they've become so trapped in their own negative thoughts. Number 7, they don't give time to other people. We give other people our time out of the goodness of our hearts. We volunteer, we help out, we lend a hand, even when none of it will be paid back. We do it because we can, and because we feel it's the right thing to do. And time is the most valuable resource we can give because it's the one thing you can never get back. Ungrateful people don't have this natural instinct to give back to the community. They believe they're entitled to help and handouts, but they don't believe they should be involved in giving those things out to others in need. As they don't know how to express gratitude, they also don't know how to express empathy. Living with someone who regularly is ungrateful can be immensely challenging, particularly if that person is a big or active part of your life. The first question you have to ask yourself is, how do you want to deal with them? Do you want to help them get over their ungratefulness, or do you simply want to learn how to tolerate them? Whatever you choose, it is important to let your response be guided by empathy rather than force. Dealing with an ungrateful person begins with self-acceptance, and you can never force anyone to accept a flaw they aren't ready to acknowledge. Here are some ways you can guide them. Number 1, don't label them. Calling someone a complainer or ungrateful is the last thing you want to do, and will only compel them to dig their heels in deeper. Instead, gently try to discuss with them their issues of complaining, inability to accept responsibility, and blame shifting. Start the conversation, even if they don't accept it. It helps to put the thoughts in their mind. Number 2, draw up personal boundaries. Understand your own limits when it comes to dealing with them. Their issues aren't yours, and you shouldn't suffer because they can't deal with their own problems. Ask yourself, what are your limits? If they cross those limits, detach yourself from them and let them deal with themselves. They will either slowly recognize how they are pushing you away, or they are too far for you to help them at all. Number 3, address their internal dialogue. Ungrateful individuals never truly engage in introspection. They never take the internal dialogue further. After they shift blame and avoid responsibility, then they wallow in their own self-pity. Help them by talking to them. If they say they can't do anything to help their situation, or if they can't achieve their goals, then push that conversation forward. Ask them, why can't they do anything? What would it take to allow them to do something? Give them a bridge between their own self-doubt and reality, and help them cross that bridge on their own. Remember, when dealing with ungrateful individuals, you are dealing with people with intense emotional instability. They often struggle with depression and/or PTSD. They have low self-esteem and self-confidence, and they already feel like they have no support. Be direct but gentle. Guide them without forcing them.